Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Server Play. This is Scoots42. I wanted to come and check on our little wither skeleton farm real quick, and we are getting a good number of drops. I just got back from about a 2 to 3 hour mining session. Got a few goodies. Uh, Today, I wanted to spend some time getting to some of the things that I've been meaning to get to and have not had a chance. So I think, first of all, I would like to finish getting beheading maxed out on this cleaver here. And you can see we're going to be able to go to beheading 3 and beheading 4 and beheading 5. So basically, that's going to give us like a 50% chance, and I don't think that's going to give us any more modifiers. I was curious, though, to see if we could still put nether quartz on it. I'm not actually sure if that is a modifier or not. So let's grab a couple stacks here, and let's find out. I know it'll sharpen it, but what I don't know is if it takes up an actual modifier slot. Yeah, not enough modifiers. There is a trick we can try here. I don't know if it'll work, but I might be able to get some extra modifiers on here. Let's see, we're going to want some paper. So let's try this little trick here. We're going to come over to the part builder, and what did we make that plate out of? Silver? Now, I'll probably end up trying to put this back to silver. I don't know if this will work, but if it does, it might be a neat little trick. Looks like we're going to get to keep all of our stuff on there. Yeah, so now we should be able to put another modifier on there. So I'm going to try to sharpen this guy up. So we've got it sharpened. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try a little trick here. I'm going to try to replace that paper with the silver again. So let's get a little bit of silver. I think we're going to need, let's just get some ore here. I think it'll take 4 ore. Let's take a little nap before we go outside. Now again, I don't know if this is going to work. We can always make another cleaver if it doesn't. Not the biggest deal in the world if it doesn't work. I mean, you know, that's kind of what this stuff's all about. We want to experiment and see what's going to work and what isn't. So let's get our plate cast out of here. And now we can just let you run. I think we're doing good over there. And there's some other things I wanted to try to get to today. So while that is cooking, let's get this put away. One of the other things that I've been meaning to get to, dang it, did it again. Here we go. All right, let's get the rest of this junk put up. Is that it? All right. One of the other things that I think we're going to do sometime today is we're going to try to clean this up. I think there is some more efficient ways of doing it, and I think what we're going to do is start setting those machines up down here in this area. And this is still working really, really well today. We are getting lots and lots of diamonds from that guy. One of the things that I already set in motion, which hopefully is done, is our crafting grid. I wanted to get a crafting grid down there. What is going on with that? Why don't I? Item is still processing. Really? What, is something stuck? Oh, I bet I know what the deal is. No? It's interesting. No machine found, huh? Oh, I know what I did. I know exactly what I did. think I forgot to put you in here. So am I going to have to start you? Let's start you over again. Crafting grid 1, please. So hopefully that'll take care of that. Yeah, there we go. That was kind of funny. Let's see. Let's make sure I put the grid in the right place too. Let's see, grid. Yeah, that's a crafting recipe. Okay, so that should be good. All right. I'm betting our plate is done. So let's see if we can swap this back on here. Now again, I don't know if this is going to work, but I figure it's worth a shot. Ooh, it's not going to let us modify it. There used to be a way to add more modifiers, and I'm not sure if there's still a way for us to do that. You know what we might be able to do? I wonder if we can get a quartz sharpening kit or a silver sharpening kit. Ooh, that might be the answer. Let's try that. Let's see if we can do a sharpening kit. That should be able to melt right back up. And we might have a sharpening kit out here. It doesn't look like it. Let's do that. I'm pretty sure that would work. It's probably what I should have done to begin with. Sharpening kit pattern we have. I'm going to need a little bit of cobblestone. Thank you, sir. And let's get ourselves a sharpening kit pattern. Now, of course, the real brilliance here is I'm not going to be able to... Oh, it's making the plate again, isn't it? Because I forgot to turn that off. So let's just go ahead and get that done. And really, that's not that big of a deal because you can't mix gold and silver anyway because you end up getting electrum. Not that that would be totally horrible. I really should turn that middle click off. There we go. And then once that pours, that cast should stay there. So let's get that silver plate again. There's no point in wasting it. Hopefully it won't take very long for that to turn into a cast for us. Nice. Let's get this silver guy back in here. Oh no, not my cleaver, thank you. We might be able to sharpen it with silver. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'd really like to get that holy modifier back on there. Wow, that is crazy. I want to try something here. I want to see what this looks like. Oh. You can tell it's heavier because you can kind of see it. It's taken it a little while. So let's see if we can't get that silver modifier back on here. One way or the other. If not, I may experiment trying to make different cleavers. Because we seem to have no shortage of ender pearls or obsidian. And I also found out there is ash blocks that we can get from the nether that we can turn into coal as well. So, I mean, you know, getting diamonds now isn't really a problem. We may have to wait for a minute or two. And I would like to work on that today as well. In fact, we can look at that really quick. Because what I'm going to want to do is upgrade some of the flux ducts. Probably. We'll definitely want to upgrade some of these item ducts. Let's see, we can get the signalum does items and redstone. Signalum, Yeah, we can get these signal and plated impulse item ducts. See what we need to make those. And these travel really, really fast, so we can swap those out. We might even be able to make those. Well, I may not have enough. I think impulse item ducts, yeah. Yeah, we'll need regular impulse item ducts to get those, which is fine because we'll want to make some of those as well. Fluid transposer with energized glowstone. Now, see, that might be a way to go. We have a fair amount of glowstone. Getting that's not terribly difficult either. And I think if we don't have a fluid transposer, getting one shouldn't be a problem. But I'd like to set a lot of this stuff up for auto crafting, which is kind of why I want a grid. I'd like to get a grid over here. Let's see if that kit is ready. There it is. And we'll need a piece of flint, which hopefully we have in here. Oh yeah, I'd say we have a piece or two handy. So let's see if we can sharpen this guy and get that holy modifier back on here. No. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. What about you? No, not so much. I've got one modifier left on this guy, which I wouldn't mind getting him hooked up with something. But it was worth a shot. So we'll worry about getting a super awesome cleaver later. Well, let's put that stuff up, and let's get back to this stuff. Do I have a fluid transposer up here somewhere? I do. Thought we had one. So that might be a good way to go. Let's see. Where am I going to put you? Because we could get rid of this and pop you down right here. There we go. Now we should be able to access all that stuff. How's the light levels down here? Doing good still? Yep. All right. So I think that might be one of the things. Let's see. I've got a bunch of destabilized redstone in here still. But I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to start working on getting probably the pulverizer and the furnace downstairs. Anything in there? No? Good. And with the grid down here, I think we'll finally be able to get away with not using so much of the ender chests. Which, I mean, it's not really a horrible circumstance if we were to continue using them. But I think we'll be able to come up with a nice little system. What I'd like to do is kind of get these machines set up over here. So I'm just going to dig us out a little path. I'd like them all the way up against this wall. So let's get some of our flux ducts out of here. Or at the very least craft some. Let's make you JEI synchronized. There we are, leadstone flux ducts. Should be able to get a few of you. And the great thing about having grid access down here is we'll be able to set up some nice auto crafting. So I'm really looking forward to that. There's the pulverizer. So let's get you there. And let's get our redstone furnace here. And then the other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to dig down a little bit deeper. Well, I didn't really mean to tear you up per se, but let's put you back. There you go. And I'm just going to basically dig under here and lay down some grid cable that'll hopefully come up around the back. So I did a bunch of mining here. See if I've got my, there we go, illumination wand. Let's light this up a little bit and maybe we'll get to see what we're doing, huh? Crazy. I did a bunch of, where did you go? Oh, did I go too far? I went too far. That happens sometimes. Let's see, you should be up here. Yes, okay. So basically, what we're going to want to be able to do is have access behind these guys for grid purposes. So I'm going to dig out a little channel back here. And let's go and get some of our cables. We may have to make some more, and that's no big deal. So let's get some of those if we have them. 17, we're probably going to want some more. So let's see if we can't get some more. What do we need? Quartz enriched iron? Is that what's holding me up? Let's just get a couple stacks of those if we can. I need to get that iron processed. But that's actually one of the things we're going to work on. Let's see, where did the cables go? Oh, there they are. I couldn't see them there for a second. There we go. And let's see if we can't get something like a crafter going. Because I'm going to do this a little bit different this time, I think. I'm at least going to try it. And we're going to want... how do we want to do it this time? We might still keep our ender chest. I think maybe instead of having a bunch of ender chests, maybe what we could do is have some item ducts that take everything to it. That might not be a bad way to go either. Let's give that a try. I think we can get a few of them here. Alright, so let's get our cables run. And I'm kind of thinking about doing it this way this time. Here, let's grab this iron while we're here. Why not? Because I want to try and see what happens if I'm a little more careful with the power. Let's get that lit up down there. Don't want any mobs spawning. I don't think anything can spawn between these guys. Oh, you went a little too far there. But I did go around and I lit up a fair amount underneath of my base area in all of these caverns. And I did that basically so that our mob farms would be a little more effective, cutting down on the areas where mobs are capable of spawning, making it more likely that they will spawn in our spawn areas that we've set up. Alright, so let's see, I'm going to want a crafter up there. So I'm going to kind of tunnel my way out over this way, I think. There we go. And you are going to need a cable all the way up to there. And hopefully our crafter is done. Oh my goodness, I keep doing that. There we go. Seems like no matter which way I want that thing to face, it just never faces the way I want it to when I want it to. And let's get our wrench out and get you spun around. You know, a pattern grid down here probably wouldn't be a bad idea either, but we'll worry about that in a little while. And what I'll probably want under here are some of those ducts that do power and items. Well, let's see. What I plan on having basically is a bunch of machines in this general area that all feed into one ender chest. I think that's kind of what I'm looking at. And I think that would be nice. So I'll probably have another crafter back behind the redstone furnace. Just so. Let's see if we can get another one. Sure we can. Nice. Let's see about getting some more of those ducts that let us do power and items and redstone flux. We've got a couple. Let's see. Now we're probably not, or I may just set up a separate pulverizer for stuff that we don't want to go into the furnace. Because one of the things we can do, or that I'm going to do, is auto input enabled, just to make sure. You're going to accept from the back. Auto output enabled. We're going to disable that side. And it's going to, there we go, output to this redstone furnace. And then for testing purposes, just to get some of this going, let's put you right here. And with you having output enabled to the bottom, there we go. And you will pull from that side. And hopefully these guys still have their, yes they do, good. I was hoping so. Okay, so this should be, I think it might be a good idea to clear that out too so we have access to those crafters up there. Alright, so let's run back over to the base real quick. And we're going to need to make some patterns. Alright, so I'm going to need, let's test this with a couple of ores. Let's get some copper. And let's see if we've got some iron laying around. Yes. Any other ores that we do a lot? How about some tin? Let's see. What other kind of ores are there available that are ready? Tin, copper. How about gold? Gold would be a good one to have on demand. Put these up for now so we have a little bit of room. So let's see about getting some patterns now. This is where it might get a little tricky because we're going to want some iron, right? And I'm going to tell it, these are processing patterns, by the way. Let's clear that out if we can. There we go. And we're going to tell it that one... Seriously? One? No? One? Yes. One iron ore will give us... Oh, I'm going to have to actually crush this to make it happen. Okay. Well, we can do that. And this way I won't have to deal with any powders, because I've had to do this a lot in the past. And I always end up, let's see, I don't really want to do you in the smelter. I always end up having crazy drawer systems set up with, you know, all kinds of resources being managed, you know, powders and ores and ingots. And I'm thinking... this time around, I want to see if I can set them up to be auto-crafted, and I also think it will help us manage the power a little bit better. So let's get you swapped out with our ingot cast, which hopefully is still in here. It is. Forgot that we had done our best to run ourselves out of iron. No big deal. One of these days, I would like to attempt to automate one smeltery. I've got a pretty good idea about how we could build multiple smelteries to automate certain things, and I'm seriously considering doing that, by the way. I've done this a lot of different ways. All right, so 1 iron, and I usually end up going with immersive engineering when I need to autocraft those certain items. See, we should have some iron in here now, yes. All right, so we're going to say that 1 iron ore is going to give us 2 ingots. And we're basically going to do the same thing with copper. Get you out of there. So copper. Now this is where it might get a little tricky. I think it might be a good idea before we get too carried away to do something similar with this, except this time, since we get different kinds of copper, you know what? Maybe we can ore dictionary the copper. Let's try to ore dictionary the copper. I think that might be a smart thing. And we'll test this out with the copper as well. So let's see what kind of copper we have first. Let's see, we have this stuff from thermal. And let's hit that ore dictionary there so it doesn't get totally confused. All right. And let's do the same thing with the gold. We'll hold off on the 10 for the time being, just because I would like to wow, it's just not going to give me a choice. One, please. Thank you. And we'll take 2 of you. So I wanted to try it a little bit different this time. Instead of just automatically doing it every single time that we get our stuff. Are you serious? There we go. And there's no reason to ore dictionary that. We only ever get one kind of gold. So let's go get these patterns in the machine over here and see how well this is going to work. So what we should be able to do now is request, say, iron. Let's take those out. And I should be able to request an iron ingot. Say I want 64 of them. It'll tell me that I need 32. Start. And hopefully, yeah, look at that. Nice. Well, that is nice. And since that's hooked up to the grid, what we should see is iron ingots. Nice. Look at that. That is really, really nice. And the beauty of doing something like that is now, say when I go to request quartz-enriched iron, it'll tell me. Like it'll tell me that, hey, I need, to crush up this many ores, or it'll tell me how many ores I actually need to gather. So that's pretty cool. I am totally digging that. So that looks like it's going to work awesome. And then what we'll do up here, we'll finish moving the rest of this stuff downstairs. I'd like all of the automation to happen downstairs. And I'll replace a few of these machines up here. We may go with industrial craft up here. I haven't completely decided. But up here, I would like to have manual machines, just manual use only. And then down here is where I'll have all of the automation magic. And I am still like super thrilled with this guy. We will definitely work on getting all of these machines maxed out, and we will work on getting the highest speed cables we can get to just totally max that system out. And then one of the other things that we did not get to yesterday or in the episode when we set this up, is I'm going to want to set up, in fact, let's see if we can get one right now, an external inventory. Or, oh, did I? I did. We set it up over here, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Almost forgot to do that. Or had almost forgotten that I did do that. So that is super cool. Super, super cool. What I may have forgotten to do is we should prioritize this guy so that he is lower than everything else. And I probably did not do that. So let's set you to -30. That way, for instance, if I take these diamonds out and pop them in the grid, they will go with the diamonds that we have over in our base instead of into that drawer. And I almost thought about just having it completely empty into one of our blue ender chests so that they would do that. And I still may. That actually is still a strong possibility, believe it or not. But we'll worry about that a little bit later. Let's see. We're getting pretty close to the wrapping up point for the episode today. I have been collecting a few more mob heads. They keep popping up over here. So I think what we should do is let's work on getting a few more mob upgrades before we go today. Let's see what we need for some more beheading, and I'm thinking maybe some luck. I think I went and got a little bit of lapis, which we may want to pulverize. So I wanted to try that as well. I wanted to see what would be better. Let's see how many I get with, I've got looting and fortune 3 on my hammer. So let's pop one of these blocks of lapis down and see how much we get. Did you go in my mining backpack? Yeah. Did I get 18 out of that? It's hard to tell. I'm not sure if I got 18 out of that or if I may have accidentally had some already. So let's try that again in a little more controlled environment. And let's dump all of this lapis in just to make sure. There we go. No more lapis. So let's try that one more time. And you should have gone in here. 15? So 18 was probably pretty close. Probably pretty close. 15 to 18. And I want to see what we can get if we crush it. But I can't tell if it's going to be more beneficial to crush it. We got 12. So the looting 3 is definitely the way to go. We are getting more, because we'll get whatever we get out of the crusher, we will always get that number. So that is good to know. The looting 3 is definitely the way to go. And I wanted to show you guys a little sneaky thing I did. I've got some redstone ore. I don't have any silk touch, but what I do have is a swapping wand. So one of the things I may work on, I've got some of these red orchids here. I've got a few of them, so we may start growing redstone. I think that may be in our near future. And I've also started picking up this destabilized redstone ore because in the next couple episodes, I really want to start getting into generating as much power as we possibly can. But anyway, for now, before we go, let's take a look and see if we can't get a few more of these upgrades. Let's see. I think, let's see if we can get you to auto-craft this stuff for us. So how about an iron helmet? Let's take you off of processing. So iron helmet. Nice. And gold helmet. Yeah. And what else did we need for those beheading ones? I only want 5 of them. Just gold nuggets, which we shouldn't have a problem getting in redstone. So Let's get you auto-craftable. And I did craft us another little crafter up here, by the way. And let's get you in there and see. We should be able to get 5 more of you. I think I've got the stuff to make that happen. Yeah, there we go. And let's see what we need for the luck. Some lapis and some redstone. That should be pretty easy. We can do a max of 10 of those. What am I missing? Redstone? Redstone? We should be getting some more redstone fairly soon. I've got a bunch of it to crush up, and I'll go and get some mining done between episodes. We may even have some redstone over in there. So let's get the rest of you beheading guys in there, and one of you looters. Where are you at? Did you run over here? Can't believe these guys are still trying to hurt me after all this time. After all we've been through. Let's see if I've got some redstone over here. Well, we got a little bit. And it just sounds like instant death in there, which I'm liking. And so let's throw a little bit more of this redstone in there and try that again. There we go. And let's take a little nap before we run outside. That was awful nice of the mobs to give us enough redstone to start upgrading our second mob room. That was nice of them, wasn't it? Let's see, let's get those in there. And I think you can do a max of 10 of each of these. I don't know how good of an idea it is to do fire. I've had bad luck with the fire aspect in the past. But smite, the sharpness is definitely a good one. Smite here, and what is that? Sharpness? Yeah, I'm not terribly worried about spiders, but I would like to see about getting the smite and the sharpness. So let's see what we can do about those. Oh, that's going to be another silly one where I'm probably going to want to have that auto-craftable. Let's see, do I have room in here? Yeah, I think so. Let's see if we can't get these auto-crafted. Make sure, you know what? I think I may already have that set up to auto-craft for the iron sword. Don't remember. I do. Good. So we don't need to worry about that. But what I would like to auto-craft is the rest of... Let's get that back in there so we don't waste a pattern. We can get that auto-crafted, I believe. There we go. And how about the smite? Oh, yeah, that should totally be doable. In fact, we probably don't even need to auto-craft the smite, but why not, right? So let's see now if we can get any of these. Let's try this one. How about, can we get 10? Oh, I'm missing a little bit of gold. So maybe 5. Nope. Missing 4, so how about 4 of them? Yes, that is reasonable. And how about the sharpness, guys? What do we need for you? Gold. So it looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit of processing. But I think I can get 1 now since I put that. Yes. So we'll get all of the faiths represented here. Nice. Did I nap? I did. Good. So let's get these in, and then I think we will call it a day. All right. So now we've got sharpness upgrades, and we've got 4 of the smite upgrades. So this should become a lot more efficient, and we should start getting quite a few more drops in here. Now, I am thinking about just straight up doing an import system on these instead of... a lot of times I would try to do another external storage, but I think we'll just straight up do an import system on those, and we'll probably start importing some of this stuff as well. And I will more than likely blacklist the bones over here, because I'm planning on having that. We're going to be starting to automate our farms coming soon, but I want to get the power totally maxed out as far as we can get it with our current tech level. We may get into resonance. We're going to start upgrading these guys. I'm probably going to ditch the canola altogether because I'm going to need to make room for a few more of these, and we're going to upgrade these in a way that we'll need to water cool them. So we've got some pretty decent changes coming. So I hope that you guys are enjoying the series. I hope you had a little bit of fun automating stuff with me today. Let me know down in the comments below how you guys are liking the server and the kind of progress we're making. Let me know how you feel about it. Be sure to leave me a like if you like these videos, and subscribe if you want to see more of them in the future. Thanks for stopping by today, guys, and take care.